Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. This is actually the 30th of December of 2024, so the very end of 2024. I don't normally mention the date. All of my readings are intended to be timeless. However, I feel like this is a very critical time in our now moment. So if you're watching this timeless, this may have reference for you from this date, or maybe it's just something that is just happening in a bit of a different time frame for yourself. So let's take a moment, sync up our energies, take a deep breath. And as we release, let us intend that all that troubles us, any fears, anxieties, or dramas that challenge us, let them be released and given to the sacred smoke to be transmuted and resolved on our behalf without our interference. So, as we start out today, I have a few things I wanted to cover. It's the new moon in Capricorn. So, right at this point, we've had already our new moon for this month. So, this is our 13th moon, and it comes with two new moons sandwiching a full moon mid-December. So, it's not quite a blue moon. That's a different form of astrology, but it's a bit of a similar vibe. So the 13th moon is always quite sacred to many of us, representing the feminine aspect. And so I did the chart, the astrological chart. I have that sitting up in front of me. That's why I keep looking forward. I'm kind of looking and kind of gaining some messages while I'm speaking. And I did lay out, as I was going through and shuffling, I laid out just the first card flung out of the deck, and I flipped it and looked on these various decks that I had in motion, and I was just gaining some insights going into this message, what we're going to be talking about. And so as it has shown itself to me, we're getting this astrological wheel talking a bit about destiny, fortune, looking ahead, being hopeful, and being a bit expectant. So you may be quite intuitive and be following some type of premonition, hunch, intuitive nudge, or guidance here, or seeking that at this point in your life. And it kind of talks about the context here as the home, which can represent your person, or it can actually represent your family, your life, your journey, or your actual physical space, your domicile, or because this is general, it could even represent some extensions of your life and how you are setting up your life to feel full and meaningful in your life. And so seeking some type of direction there. The next deck, music, was the card that came out. And then looking under the deck, I had rejuvenation coming out. So then the message became that the possibly this experience or this area of your life that we're looking at here with this home, this self, it looks like there's going to be an upliftment or a return of rejuvenation of energies and harmony within the home or within this situation. Yeah, and immunity wants to be shown below that. So something that has been troubling you is now resolving itself. So maybe you've had to address something, have a discussion, something such as that, or some other factor has kind of resolved itself, or things have shifted and changed because of something else that's given way to some new way of being, it looks like. So then next, I believe I went to the Akashic Tarot here. We've got the sands of time underneath. So this guy's been planning. He's got all of this information. He's just kind of standing here waiting for this. He's even got his shirt sleeves rolled up. And so Queen of Forces wants to be shown too, that balancing could be depicting today's new moon energy. I just got a flutter above the heart space here. But it's like he seems like he's already planned, he's already ready to get to work. He's just kind of like when the runners are getting ready to sprint, you'll see them with their feet on those blocks that then they're gonna jump forth from. He looks pretty relaxed in this, but I kind of feel him tapping his toe, and I feel like this could definitely represent yourself in this situation or somebody that you're thinking of. The two cards that popped out with him. Oh, I'm getting to that Six of Scrolls is often a card depicting healing on the energetic level. It's a rebalancing of the mental energies, which mental could also fall into the realms of psychological and energetic well-being, especially because we're talking about getting your house in order and wishes for a return to harmony and shutting the lid on some type of challenge from the previous time frame. So we have the Three of Scrolls coming out with that. And Three of Scrolls generally is a card that would traditionally be heartbreak, but you can see here it's like this individual has left something behind and they're being guided by, if you can see that rainbow somewhat above him, it's kind of showing me that there's the beautiful weather, the seas are nice and accommodating, the sailors behind are kind of, looking out over the horizon, checking the map or whatever. But this guy's got this long view with the telescope, and it's kind of like, I want to interrupt just real quickly and just offer up that just before this reading, I had laid out these preceding cards and I filmed my version of a cord cutting ceremony, which is intended to release and leave some types of expectations or karmic entanglements that kind of tie us into psychological knots at different times. You can call that what you want, but leaving us kind of feeling less than whole, less than, definitely less than 100% at any rate, because the more that we're kind of taking on the burdens of expectations and carrying around a whole duffel bag worth of resentments or otherwise, then it becomes heavy upon our energy. And then it's like, if we really want to take flight in our endeavors, we really need to energetically cast off, but not only just pretend like we could throw them into a dark corner, but truly to understand and go through the process of some type of transmutation. So you may choose to work with Saint Germain or something, but the violet flame of Saint Germain is one of the ways that we can intend the energies from a lower vibrational origin be somewhat understood and integrated and transformed. It's like taking animal dung and throwing it in a compost pile with the garbage and the leavings of the produce, and then turning that soil, while turning it into the soil, becomes very fertile, full of seeds, and then all of a sudden it becomes a garden type of an idea. And so we're casting off something and understanding how that is the actual destinational map that we've been reading about. Well, where do we go from here? How do we navigate getting back into harmony, back into some type of balance between the ego's needs and the subconscious needs, and then the the energy and vibration that is brought forth on the conscious plane that is out there being our point of attraction and also being the laser focused beam from our perspective that is our building capacity in this realm. So it looks like you've been able to navigate something here and you're really ready to go. You've seen the shores, or you at least know that you can expect something coming in the near future. So preceding this message this morning, I was really getting that imagery of, you'll see the side cutaway view of two individuals digging a tunnel and they're trying to get out to freedom, but the one guy stops this close to the end and the other guy's like going at it, and you know he's gonna strike freedom or gold or whatever. So it's like that's kind of how we can feel the accumulation of expectation and experience kind of intertangled with things that we periodically just um, getting some type of release through our body, some type of like ecstatic dance or yoga or martial arts or just stretching, just breath, belly breathing. All of these things are such great ways to um, get yourself kind of back into your body and so on. So this comes out with the Oracle of Delphi, the number 1 card in the deck from here. And it was coming through that you're anxious, or anxious is possibly the wrong word, but excited and anticipating getting yourself ready to either deliver a message or to receive a message or to make possibly some type of presentation or gain some type of recognition. But it looks like this is that musical rejuvenation where it's like you are able to make sense of whatever's coming through you, and then I sometimes call it like a 3D printer. It's like we utilize those energies in a different way because we've transmuted them into something such as a garden in our experience. Then we can take that fruit from the garden and turn it into fuel for the body and health. So back to the immunity card here. So it's like we've learned how to, it's not just the spin, it's not only reframing, it's understanding how to reclaim our power from things that no longer serve. And so you'll have to see that cord cutting if that sounds interesting to you. And it's my own unique thing. If you want to research that on your own, feel free. My video is about 12 minutes and we talk just a little bit about other things as I explain my process through it. So the other cards here that came out, we had, interestingly, I don't read reversals generally, but third eye chakra came out in reverse. And so as we were just talking about the stories that we spin and weave into beingness is part of that energy that we're spinning the various experiences into something that we can then build with through that laser focus. That's the activation of the third eye chakra, the visioner. And then we're seeing this Oracle of Delphi, like being the vibrational resonance, whether that's just an elevated stance on something. She's shown as being uplifted, like ready to be the conduit between spirit and matter. And that's what literally becomes manifestation. And under the deck with that, we had miracle popping out. And then in the previous video, I pulled these cards off and magic was underneath. Below magic is discernment and the violet flame. Wouldn't you know? We've got to go one more for that. Pardon my voice. Sacral chakra, the core of creation. You don't say. And so there may be some sacral chakra issues or cleansing as far as, it came through a few days ago. I was having a discussion about this with my daughter, actually, because that's, the line of the healing that comes through us is often in the family unit. and we were talking about toxic shame and how that really needs to be looked at, and weeded through. It's like weeding the garden, that beautiful potential garden could be all for nothing if you let the weeds get over on top of it. So anyways, using your discernment on the violet flame is like, we don't utilize forgiveness because we're necessarily doing it for other people. Forgiveness is actually for the self, because when we cord ourselves to a burden such as unforgiveness, which there are many things that we could term unforgivable in heavy quotes, but if we want unity consciousness and if we want to liberate ourselves from any further entanglements with that energy to learn about it, we have to, we don't have to do anything. It's one version of transmutation, is to understand what the vibrational need of that moment was and how to then shift it into something useful. We can talk about this with somebody who had a poor childhood, then dedicating their livelihood to dealing with, let's say, troubled youth or social work or something like that, or somebody who even gets into politics for all the right reasons, you could say, or some type of legality. They might want to provide justice, and even we can do this in our waking lives with the loved ones that we have. We can see them and work through ourselves and see ourselves. And it came through recently with understanding how to release our expectations and fears and anxieties and illusions of control, is to unburden the people that we love with the heaviness of karma and expectation and struggle and conflict energy. And so it comes out, magic was under the deck. So understanding that the proper use of our third eye chakra to turn that upright, we have to reflect in the mirror of the self and release ourselves from the engagements, lest they continue and repeat. And unless we want to do that hamster wheel again, we've got to learn how to spiral up and release and relieve. So, okay, I forgot what cards were out. So these are the ones I showed in the video. They're on the thumbnail of the previous. So we've got Sacral Chakra, which we just saw under here, the core of creation, toxic shame, guilt, expectation. It's the water, Sacral Chakra. Do we need to hydrate? I know I do. So the water, and Dr. Masaru Emoto in the water experiments and rice experiments as well, we can see how water is consciousness and how everything is ultimately consciousness. So coming out with Sacral Chakra, get this beautiful number 51, the sound of the universe, which is oh, I don't know if I hit the right tone, but you get it. The sound of the universe is talking about the vibrational essence of life begetting life begetting life. It's the spontaneous combustion and the immaculate conception of the divine feminine waters. So we've got this Om symbol, and do you see those emanations coming from crown, from everywhere, from her hair, from below her throat chakra here? It's like by holding resonance, understanding vibrational truth, and then just being, holding space and holding that vibrational resonance for any length of time is exponentially co-creative with the within the nested frequency of Mother Gaia, and then the cosmos and the multiverse, perhaps. Then we are in such cosmic alignment with that divine essence of the Omega, the multiplicity, that's where the miracles and the spontaneous creation of immaculate co-creation begins to occur. And so I found that so gorgeous. So I think that I'd try to take more cards if I could. 2 cards popped out in the oracle cards. So let's get a couple oracle cards. We'll kind of put a lid on this. It says number 2 was the one that popped out, diving to new depths. There's a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what's really going on. Take a moment to pause and to breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you're feeling about your current situation. So I am feeling that at the end of the year, there's this reflection upon our intentions, our expectations, and some of us need to be more gentle receivers. Some of our expectations are unrealistic, or, you know, when we're shooting for the moon, or excuse me, shooting for the stars and we land on the moon, we need to remember not to be discouraged because we've still pierced the stratosphere with our awareness. And so part of our release is the faulty, the lower side of the masculine essence that says that we have to go, 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 do, 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 be, grind, grind, grind. It's like sometimes we need to also honor the seasons and the systems that all have this life force energy that rises and falls like the ebbs and flows of water. So some of us might be into Bruce Lee. He talks about being like water, and that is how we are actually fluxing and flowing in the cosmic wave patterns nested in the harmonics of the multiverse. That is when we're in our creation mode. We can pound nails all day long, but will we truly create something that stands the test of time unless we get into our creator mode? And part of that is honoring the inner vision, but any vision worthy of making takes its time and its manifestation. So yeah, this sands of time, stay the course. Do not be led astray. And there's been such heaviness and this toxic shame again with like, should we be any different than we are? I mean, can we please just release what we used to habitually go into cycles of, and recognize the beauty and the divinity in the slight imperfections and the quirks and the unexpected, the mystery of life as it unfolds. Leaping through the air. 45. A plan that you have made is on track. If you're waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects that you've been considering. I think that that's very beautiful in this energy because we see you waiting and raring to go here, but it's like something has been holding you back, and it might be some of that toxic shame that's just in that duffel bag on our back that's too heavy to carry around any longer. So if we can work through and transmute, integrate what needs to be integrated, maybe even literally go through the process of clearing out some of our objects in our homes and in our lives that no longer serve any purpose, repurpose, give them to someone else, and take a rest in some way. I'll split this real quick. Beyond the mind. Yeah, there's something that wants to shift us. Yeah, we've been in some type of a root chakra grounding and centering process here, getting our selves more stable and more secure. Some of us may have moved or have been making some different moves in life to establish ourselves in some type of a way and to get to some type of level of accomplishment, I feel here, because we are very creative and manifestation oriented individuals in this reading. And then you have star seed elemental. I feel like with this shift, should we choose to take the universe's multiverse's invitation to relax for a minute and take a break from something that's taken too much of our time to cleanse and clear our energy, we're able to perceive of a new elemental coming online in a more powerful way. And many of us may already be aware of this, but it seems like the heaviness of whatever has been kind of tying us up into some type of heaviness or sluggish movement or stagnation, we're moving beyond some type of intellectualized emotive nature too, possibly, where it's like to heal it, you really gotta feel it. It's like knowing, this is an old um, from the commercials in between cartoons when I was a child. They would play these public service announcements with GI Joe, and it would be like, the more you know, and knowing is only half the battle. And there's something here about our childhood and the way that we were taught values may not have been in the previously traditional ways, but so this makes us very unique, and it makes us predisposed to different things, whether suggestive or otherwise. And it looks like we're kind of moving beyond this, just looking at the details and able to really feel through that the impact upon us, and thus able to transmute that impact into some type of beautiful sound emanation that beyond the mind, that emanation is like, sometimes I've at different times going through healing, I've made these like these noises might bubble up and erupt. It might be a giggle, it might be a cry, it might be some type of weird like moan or otherworldly essence, but there's some type of vibrational quality that comes through the healing process. And so let's keep going. So you're creating something, you've been creating it, you're getting to the point where you're surpassing the old pitfalls with immunity. So from the homemade deck, we've got an awakening wake up call coming through, where suddenly it's like, you understand how to reclaim something and how to release something, how to make sense, and then feel it, feel that essence, and create something incredible. And it comes out very quickly afterwards with romantic adventure, and underneath, workaholic obscuring twin flame. I have only looked that far so far, but so perhaps some type of romantic blockage, whether in a current relationship or some type of even enjoyment with the life is being obscured by some sense of overly dedicated, overly productive nature, and it feels a little more like spinning your wheels than creating, because you're somehow not previously had not been in alignment with that cosmic sound. And so yeah, take the break to learn the lessons. It says, I wasn't at my best learning lessons. I don't feel worthy. There's that toxic shame. And there's Taurus, where Uranus has been shaking loose some of the old traumas and healing needs within the body itself, the sacred vessel. And then it says, you're so hot, you're on fire, 55, 55, things are changing. There's an overlooked opportunity coming back to get to your awareness. And it says introvert, so look within for this joy. might have something to do with somebody that has light features, eyes, hair, or complexion. But the wheel of the year is turning. So, yeah, it looks like you've kind of been a little bit bored by some type of stagnancy, and you're looking to the future to create more momentum, drive, motivation, speed of manifestation. And we've got low vibrational entities and lower attachments, and that can be those expectations and things that we can try to do some type of transmutation, cord cutting, release, or healing with, so that you can feel safe to be yourself around yourself. Yeah, I have mad respect for you and your process right now. Venus, you're getting back to self-love and a feeling of being able to feel connected to who and how and what you are. So I ran out of time to do the astrology. We're going to do the astrology in its own video today. So if you want to check out the astrology of the new moon in Capricorn, check out that next reading. And otherwise, check other readings for other updates if you want some more. And have a fantastic new year. Thank you so much for everything that you've shared and contributed and engaged with with the channel's growth. And we're looking forward to a breakthrough year next year with new energy, new readings, and all kinds of good stuff for you guys to sink your teeth into. So sending you so much love, so much light, and so much energy for your release to receive in the coming phase. Take good care of yourselves and check out the other videos. Thanks.